a chance. It's a far-fetched one, but it could work.
Or they can go for the Lilia that we haven't seen too often, but it is a solid option against a team that wants to clump together and team fight. So, question here is, what will Geek first show, right? Is it going to be the roamer first, or is it going to be the EXP potentially?
Roam potentially too.
Exactly. Usually Luke, I think we've seen him perform on the Edith, but not really as flashy or
Not
as
this
effective.
season.
Yeah, before in the previous seasons.
Yeah.
Not as effective as his Lapu Lapu and the like, so I think we're assuming that it's gonna be a roamer here.
Why Edith?
Well, they want to try to force RRQ into their initiations. If the Claude ever just jumps in, try to immobilize the Claude, try to bait out the Purify, and then later the others can just come through and shred him down. I guess that might be the idea for now.
It's also a lot of damage in the big team fight with the Netherrealm. That Primal Wrath is an extra source of DPS aside from the Natan.
I just would have thought that they would go for something a little bit more sustainable instead of looking for more damage. I mean, don't you get that from the Paramis and the Natan? But anyway, RQ, they're gonna double down here. Arlet and the Grok. Wait a second. Arlet EXP?
Yes.
Mid Angela, Grok Roam.
Yeah, that should be what it is.
So there, the Flex Angela.
But usually with a tanky comp like this, the X-Borg hasn't been banned out. If the Edith does turn out to be a roam pick for Geek Fam, it's a very valuable X-Borg pickup here for this game. So much shred, so many HP bars. You already have 2 HP bars with the Netherrealm. Add on more sustainability with the Faraga armor. But playmaking is usually what we expect, and we will get that from Mr. Man Luke.
Wow.
I'm worried about the lack of magic damage from the Kings of Kings.
They're a lot more one-dimensional in damage output, but I guess they have that much confidence in Skylar to just be the sole carry. For Geek Fam though, again, Netherrealm, Firaga armor, Primal Wrath also gives you sustain, by the way, a bit of shielding, a bit of spell lifesteal as well with the hits from the Primal Wrath. So I don't see how RRQ on paper can come out on top in a long drawn-out fight, but we'll just have to see how the execution goes through.
And even the lineup rating is not too far away from the Kings of Kings, but 6.9 on top of the 6.1 that RRQ currently hold. Wait a second, you're right. It's Grok mid. Clay is playing the Grok. Is it a lane swap? Okay, we'll see. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A very unexpected turn of events. A very unexpected surprise as we enter the Land of Dawn for game number 1. Will the Kingslayers once again collect their trophy? Collect what is rightfully theirs in this best-of-3 series between Geek as well as RRQ.
Okay, no, it was a mistake. Yeah, because earlier the head-to-head, it showed Clay on the Grok, but
I'm disappointed now.
I am pretty disappointed.
I
I had
hyped
a
that up.
line too. I was about to say desperate times call for desperate measures, but it's a normal measure for now. Vin though already forcing out the retribution, but they're all inning Vin, forcing that flicker out.
They punish his usage of the power of nature to threaten, then force out the retribution. So we'll see how Geek Fam can deal with this. Ray on the Fredrin, a bit reminiscent of how we saw last time this matchup, right? A Fredrin against a Grok that was constantly in the jungle, and also against a Barat. Although Veloisky putting a lot of attention in the gold lane right there, trying to make sure that his gold laner does have the advantage. But look at this, Versik, ignoring the buff, immediately going for the other creeps. He's just trying to make sure that he gets ahead in steals.
I mean, right now it's working, right? Ray is still level 2, whereas Versik already almost at level 4, but wait a minute, Veloisky?
The red tree there, and okay, Ray picks it up, actually still able to secure his buff. But that early pressure from the Grok, we've seen this before for a Barats getting so ahead early.
Looking at the emblems here by GamesMax, Chidera with the Bargain Hunter, not feeling the threat of Skylar in the gold lane at all. And Skylar with the basic emblem and the Master Assassin. Hang on though, in the EXP lane. Luke still going for it.
Trying to burn him down. Don has the stun. Now Clay going in. That's the Faraga armor taken out. But Don will not try to commit there. There's a big wave that's crashing down.
In the short trace though, again, the weakness finder from Chidera is going to make sure that in the 1v1 at least, he's going to have a lot more advantage. With a turtle up though, Parasite, he went for the Season Hunter, so not a lot of extra tankiness in his emblem selection. And Ray actually has a bit of vitality, so he has more HP bars, so you have to watch out for that Appraiser's Wrath is going to be a bit of extra damage, but he won't even be in the area.
Nope.
Just like the keys to victory said, neutral objective control, the new RQ's way. This time, able to secure it and straight to the orange buff they go. Fersik didn't use that retribution. Ray has already collected his orange buff.
I mean, at that point, right, Ray was already a level below Fersik. If they wanted to go for the contest, it was a 50-50, so it looks like Geek, they didn't overcommit and didn't want to overcommit onto that. But the question is, what are they getting in trade of it? Vin gets caught low, doesn't get taken down just yet. He gets a little bit punished for how aggressive he's been playing so far, but there you go, they're actually committing now.
Yeah, Ray was still able to get it there. Praga armor popped, but Luke is in the safe space of his turret. Meanwhile, a boy just trying to pull Fersik back. That's an onward, another shatter, and a Primal Wrath placed down.
Oh!
Two-man coming down there with another round placed down. Ray, oh, he doesn't go for the wall. Skylar gets a first blood up top of the solo kill. And Ray is able to get some more damage to the Brazers. Rather than actually able to survive for a bit. It's the Clay comes in with the last shot to take him down. A boy looking for more here as they go. Last Insanity, boom! Right on Vin. Plays next to the chopping block. The Shadow Stampede pulls him back, but it's not enough. An all-out skirmish breaks out.
And at the end, it's a 2-4-3 trade in favor of RRQ. With Skylar being able to pick up a solo kill, Beloyski trying to punish. Doesn't get that punish though, but it will slow Chidera down just a little bit.
The solo kill in the middle of everything kind of still equalizes it for RRQ, kind of, but engaging in that fight, using the Daytona's Welcome to try and get Ray away from the Netherrealm. So no crowd control, no extra bit of damage. Might not be the best call. I think RRQ will definitely adjust from there. So far, they're still the ones trying to exert pressure, trying to pressure that, make sure that Ray can't really contest for these neutral objectives later on.
Well, Vin has to be careful. He's just walking around now, so it's still okay, but he walks back in with the Power of Nature, trying to bait out that Retribution. Ray secures it, and now Vin is in trouble. No Power of Nature, uses the Wild Charge, and
Oh!
the boy is able to find a Shadow Stampede, saying goodbye to Vin. That's the last Insanity to blow him up. Now in the fight, Beloyski already with the onward, now with another round 2, Blazing Duet will be able to melt them through as the final slash comes in with the Appraiser's Wrath from Ray. Finds one, Beloyski falls as well. Now Ray will be taken down by Skylar. But look at Chidera, who's in the bottom lane, just eating up the turret gold.
That's a 2-for-2 trade, but RRQ still are able to get that neutral objective take. You think it would have been quite a bad move for Vin to be taken out right before they go for the neutral objective dance? But in the end, with RRQ being able to secure this, it is quite a good trade. Skylar now has a lot of damage onto the tower, nearly gets it down, but it still stands with the comeback coming in from Luke as well as Beloyski.
Look at the talent prediction right here. Seems like I am severely outnumbered. We'll see how that plays out. But for RRQ, making sure that Ray is forced to use a Retribution. It's a bit costly to use the to lose one member 4, but now look at this. Fersik.
All into Fersik, still has the hard guard, gets pulled back, but Luke is right there. Full stacks on the burn. They want to commit onto this. The last Insanity will be used up by Luke. It gets rid of Detona's Welcome, and he is able to flicker out to safety. The hard guard will be used up as well as Don now goes back in with a 2-man final. Well, no, just 2-man stun. That's a Blazing Duet to get rid of another round. The Purify to get out of the Detona's Welcome, and Skylar goes back to the Battle Mirror image. Beloyski still here. Chidera rotating as well to catch this wave. Both teams disengage. No picks.
But either way, Luke is so punishing. That last pick X-Borg has come into clutch here for Geek, because without that, RQ would have had a little bit more to say when it came down to the neutral objective take on the turtle. But because he got chunked really low, Fersik was forced to retreat, plus he was able to bait out the hard guard. And meanwhile, Skylar, still Skylar things, being able to pick up that turret in the bottom side actually.
And if you look at the turrets, right? 2 turrets for the side of RRQ, 0 for Geek Fam. They can still win out in these fights, but the fact that they have to clump together so much more often compared to RRQ, it's allowing the rest of the team to really split. And look at Skylar, he's not even coming to the fight. He's just going for the turret.
Trying to go for that trade. You know the 4v4 is actually pretty good for RRQ right now, but Ray, we forced back just a bit. Don caught a no man's land, now taunted up. Don just picked up without anything here, but he has the hard guard. It's baited out now, then they go for it. Final slash by Don, trying to survive with Primal Wrath from Beloyski. Will deal with him. Gets pulled back as the Detona's Welcome comes down as well. That's another round to provide him a little bit more of sustain as the wild charge connects on a 3 members. Skylar now already rotating. Polo's with the onward. Right now with the taunt as well. Able to find one. Appraiser's Rat as the last insanity goes to the back. Luke burns the back line, or technically the front line away, as Luke is getting chased now by Clay. One last shot should do it, and that's a shutdown by Clay.
3-4-2 trade for Geek here, but wow. With that being said, RQ still hold on to the gold lead. What happened in that engage?
It's just Geek fam pulled apart from each other and hang on a minute. Skylar keeps going for it.
He wants to go for the dive play as well, jumping in, and Beloyski doesn't get the capitalization. And Skylar with a massive dub. Chidera with a turret down below, but it's only a tier 1, and Don is chasing him down.
Ooh.
Can he get out?
He's good, he gets out, but wait.
Finn?
With the conceal, Chidera, final slash misses. There's a barrier there. Chidera is actually trying to outplay the situation right now, but the wild charge will come down, baiting out the Purify and taking him out. RRQ also secure their 3rd turtle of the game.
A lot of action every single point in the map right here. This is RRQ's style from way back, when they're not going for these big fights where Skylar is the main star of the show. They just keep going for all this aggression in the jungle, in the EXP lane, in the gold lane, and as a result, Geek fam, a team that is so comfortable going for these big team fights, 5v5, are not really able to capitalize. Even there, the fact that Chidera was stuck 1v2 as a gold lane that wants to farm up. He has only 2 items, and he's behind a whole item to Skylar, who already has the Corrosion Scythe, DHS, and Golden Staff. So the power spikes are definitely here. And with Clay securing the Flash of the Oasis after the fleeting time, you already see that the intention is to use that hard guard as often, as aggressively as possible. And with the Flash of the Oasis, they can kind of hold their own a lot better against a boy on the Paramis, but they still have to pick their engagements very carefully.
That's why the Claude is just so valuable against the Faramis, right? Because with this composition that Geek brought, they're looking for, wait a second, Skylar?
Oh, bursting him down, Primal Rat, and hard guard placing to win Skylar!
Oh!
He likes those odds! They go away to Don! Capitalizes! Skylar is an absolute monster on this Claude! And Don continues the chase. Luke is forced back, but look at Skylar, who's hunting! Battle Mirror Image into the pull back, and a boy gets taken out! What? Skylar! Holy moly!
He dove under the turret, was still able to get another kill, and he gets out unscathed. 6-0-3. This is why everyone bans out his Claude. This is why his Claude has been feared and respected all around the world. And now, it's insane. 100% win rate so far. And Geek, they were playing with fire with the fact that they let this man get his Claude.
What an absolute animal, just going 1v2 under the turret, using the Shadow Stampede as a gap closer. This man is just... He's living in the future, man. He just knows what's going to happen before it happens. And now with that pressure, with that whole sequence of events, a 5k gold lead and a rush to the Lord RRQ.
The Blitz.
Oh, they're not done yet.
Vin all alone, getting shredded down. But they have to back away. I don't think they can commit onto the roamer right now. And RRQ utilizes gold lead, will utilize his gold lead, 6,000.
Man. For Geek fam here, everything really isn't going according to plan. They're losing out in the macro game, where we usually expect Geek fam to be the ones to really outmaneuver and just get away with these macro plays and avoid fights they don't really want. And now, the fact that they can't really commit onto the roamer means that Vin himself will have a lot more space to play. He can be a lot more risky, or is this too risky though? Just walks in against 5 people, knowing that if he gets committed on, you know, Geek fam will be a bit reluctant to use all these ultimates, all these big moments.
Oh.
Look at that.
On all in there, the Purify used up already as well, but Skylar is just so hard to catch. Now goes into the mid lane, trying to get the turret. There's no minions there, brother. So they'll have to wait for another wave. Don, final slash onto Luke. Raga armor completely gone. He actually already used the last insanity as well. Skylar takes the turret down. They're trying to get those stacks as now he tries to burn Bearsick. Slowly but surely, RRQ are taking these turrets down.
All 3 lanes are marching really perfectly though as they go for and look for the siege.
Look at that wave clear though, forward than Tan. Still a threat that is growing. Despite him being 0-3-0, it's still growing. He's still waiting for his power spike, and his next one will be the Holy Crystal.
We did see earlier that Skylar was 2k gold ahead, but look at that.
Raga armor baited out, the flicker as well. But Geek live to see another day.
The longer this game goes, though, again, the Chidera technically on the Natan can do a lot more damage than Skylar if he's left to his own devices. Fortunately for RRQ, though, they do have a lot of heroes that can dive in the back line. Vin, Don, and Fersik technically can all just move towards Chidera and be that threat. But Skylar, though,
He has to be very careful now, right? Getting into the later stage of the game, that Natan will have a very, very decisive amount of burst.
and you can say the same thing about a boy on the Paramis. That damage is very subtle, but especially in the big team fight when there's multiple members for the Ghost Bursters to bounce around with, there's going to be a lot more burst damage that Skylar might not really have taken into consideration. He does have the Rose Gold Meteor, so here's already itemized in advance, as expected, but already have full build. Now, that crazy early game power spike that Skylar was able to abuse with a 4k gold lead will slowly but surely be matched by Chidera. So RRQ are doing a great job, but they are working against the clock. And the same thing can be said about Fersik, who's 2 and 2.6k gold ahead. Ray is just trying his best to at least survive the initial engagement and the harassment coming in from the Claw, from the Barats.
So at this point in the game, 13 minutes in, Geek have not found their sweet spot yet. They're waiting on Chidera. And RRQ need to try their best to close this out as soon as possible, unless they think they have a solution to Chidera once he gets that power spike. So you can see RRQ playing it very quickly. They blitz down the Lord, they wait for it, they open up the map, they try to look for some setup. The Lord is marching in the top side. But again, Vin needs to find a proper moment and a proper engage alongside with Skylar as well as Clay, and not to get too hasty though when it comes down to the initiation, because early on in the bottom side, when they went in for that bottom side turret, it looked like there was supposed to be an opening, but it didn't work out, and then they wasted a Heart Guard and a Blazing Duet for it. So we'll see what RRQ plans here, because we can already see them starting to posture for the end.
They're waiting for some waves to come in through. The mid and top side will collide at the same time. They're sending Skylar to just go for the mid one.
And the boy tries to clear it out. Now, takes Skylar a little bit. The tough situation, has a battle mirror image though. Below going to be red treed as he will be able to back away, but that is all of the base turrets taken down. Well played to RRQ as they played slow. Geek fam still hovering over. Luke trying to place those stacks down to possibly melt RRQ, but Skylar's doing more than Luke can ever do. My God, Viraga armor just taken out like that. Now a boy pulling Fersik over. No initiation by RRQ. Beloyski also just hovering Vin. Pops that conceal. Now the last insanity will be used up just to zone them away. The final slash as well to a boy. Positive Purify in another realm now, as that's going to be a lot of free hits coming down as the Blazing Duet comes into the back line, and they are scattered all around. Chidera trying to do some damage, but it's not going to be enough, not so far. But the base is not able to be targeted down. Chidera actually buys him into nature. And so far, it's just a 1-for-1. Roam for jungle, and Geek fam defend again.
What a defense by Geek as well. I mean, RRQ, that played in perfectly, right? They were waiting for that proper time. You can see the resources being burnt out. But in the end, despite the damage coming out from the Blazing Duet, the Netherrealm did its best as well to try and hinder the damage output in general. And then Chidera was able to be completely untouched in that engage and dealing that DPS damage.
That was before Chidera had the Wind of Nature, by the way. He is at 5 items as we take a look at the replay via the Samsung Galaxy S24 series. All started with the pickup to a boy, but he was still able to get the Nether Realm off. But even so, the melt from the Blazing Duet just shreds everyone down. But look at Chidera. Finds a pocket of opportunity to stay in the front and use that sustain and literally damage tank a lot of the damage coming in from RRQ. So he is most definitely one of the main guys that have to be targeted in these fights. To a degree, if RRQ know that they can't burst down a boy because he has to purify before he can use the Netherrealm, there might be some value in going straight for Chidera. Although with the Wind of Nature in his possession, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But look at Vin.
Oh, dude. This is a super, super good position by Vin, and he might be actually looking for it. Flanking again, Beloyski very, very low. Has the immortality as Luke goes in, but Vin in the back line now catches 3. That's a wild charge out of the back with the Blazing Duet as well, but another round comes down. Chidera still with the entropy now going on the Skylar. but he's done so much damage towards Geek Fam. Chidera's caught, has to win a nature. The power of nature might just be there, but he brings back, comes out, and Chidera will be falling in the skirmish as well as Ferris. Skylar still able to dodge away, has the immortality, but it's very, very low. A boy looking for a chase, but Skylar will be shut down by Ray with one last stab. Luke now versus the world. Dawn has a Twilight armor, but what's that gonna do against the fire of the X-Borg? That's a win for Geek Fam.
2 for 3 trade. They take Skylar down amongst all that chaos. You thought it would have been a complete disaster for Geek, losing Chidera to the damage coming in from not just Skylar, but also from Vin in the last single moments. But Geek, they were able to turn it around, taking Skylar out, and now it's a complete reset. The problem is now Fursic has already spawned. He's already on the way to the neutral objective. Meanwhile, we are still waiting on Ray, whether or not he can blitz this as fast as possible. And the trades are happening in terms of damage.
That's the flicker. Vin forced back. They have to try to blitz this. They need to do something. That's his welcome. Used up by Fersic, but Chidera now all ins. Onto Fersic. He's all alone. He's isolated. He's taken out. That's the meltdown coming in. And now it's a retribution by Ray. He secures it, but the wild charge will be used up by Vin. Skylar in the mid lane, trying to clear out the way, trying to look for a possible end angle. Beloyski cuts it. Will stop that from happening. Luke blows up in the back. That's a last insanity to take Dawn down. 2 members taken out. And look at the timers. It's an Evolved Lord for the Geeks.
If RRQ will not go down, neither will the King Slayers. Coming back, coming alive in the 19th minute of the game on the damage coming through from Chidera. Beloyski's initiating plays, as well as Luke and his performance on the X-Borg so far.
Okay, luckily it's enhanced. It's not evolved, actually. They got it before the 18-minute.
But still, that's Death Timer still able to be utilized by Geek. They're going straight for the mid base turret, trying to go for an engager. Beloyski.
Very aggressive. Into the mid lane they go. They crack the base turret open. Skylar's very low. Gets popped up for the shout down. Peter Waits as well with the loud charge. Goes into the back. Able to dish out some damage. And now Geek Fam are on the retreat. That's a chomp down onto Beloyski and a stun down into the back. Beloyski all alone and shut out from this team fight. A boy has respawned. Will they try to look for more? It doesn't seem like they can. For both these teams, they will just back away.
This is that late game that Geek Fam was notorious for, and the gold lead has just evaporated, and multiple turrets fall on the mid and bottom side of the map. RRQ, the big lead that they were able to just painstakingly gain in the early to mid game is now gone. They still have the base turret advantage, but especially in the mid lane, that has been neutralized. They can control it still, but they have to play around with this. They can't just wait for big moments from Geek Fam, because this is what they want. That's where they usually can allow Beloyski to try and find a crazy play. With 10 seconds left though, they're going for a 4v5.
Final slash to the Blazing Duet, but another realm is there once again. Chidera with the entropy, now doing so much damage in the back, but will be knocked up by the wild charge, and now he is clumped up all together. Chidera is still doing damage, they're all so low. Only Skylar is here with full HP. He'll deal some damage, but Geek Fam have ultimately defended with Luke still somehow surviving. Ray finds a big Abraser's Wrath, but no one falls on the side of Geek Fam except for Chidera. Skylar is low, Beloyski has the Primal Wrath, and Geek Fam have defended again.
What? How did they defend that without Chidera? I would have thought that with Skylar still up for grabs, able to dish out that damage, they would have definitely lost that one. But again, the Geeks stay strong. They still stay stoic. They don't want to go down without a fight. And in the 21st minute of the game, they defend yet again.
It's just the fact that everyone on the side of Geek Fam can deal damage. You look at RRQ, the Angela can do damage, but mainly utility. Same thing for the Grok, more or less same thing for the Barat. The damage is there, but it's not game-changing. It can't be used to burst down anyone. Whereas if you look at Geek Fam, the Primal Wrath, big damage potential. You look at Luke on the X-Borg, the last Insanity can very easily burst Skylar down. The fact that they have so many more damage sources means that, again, in a proper 5v5, or even there, a 5v4, Geek Fam still have a lot of way to swing around, and RRQ, I think they really, really need to play the macro game right here. But Skylar, he's going to push the wave on the bottom side.
Uh-oh. This is the 4th Lord of the game. Do Geek, are they aware of this? Beloyski is going there, but wait a minute.
They go for an all-out team fight right now as Beloyski goes into the bottom lane, but Skylar is going there as well. Fersic now taken out as Beloyski tries his best to hover over The wave in the bottom lane still there. A boy will back away. Shadera goes in for Dawn with the Twilight armor. Beloyski trying to defend. Skylar goes in for some damage now. Also with the help of the Hard Guard, he might just be able to go for the end right now. The boy does some damage back with the Trench as well. That's a lot of damage placed up, but Skylar somehow is able to just fend off against so many members, but they have lost 3. The Kingdom is left with just the Crown Prince and a little girl to defend. Luke in the mid lane, just marching down. Clay cannot run away. He is getting chased down by Ray and Tadera. Only Skylar, only the Crown Prince left to defend against 4 Kingslayers.
How many times have we seen Skylar in this exact same position? Everyone marching on top, rumbling towards the Kingdom, and only one person remains at the gate, and that is the Crown Prince himself. In a 1v4 situation, what is he to do?
Oh?
Can he do it?
They baited out the entropy. That's really, really good. No entropy. That means they might not be able to end right now as Persic also respawns in. 7 seconds onto Bin. Jetson is welcome. Used up on the Jaderas. Now it's going to be Luke going into the back line with Skylar there. Winter Truncheon bought out. The base is wide open. They might just be able to do it right now as he just burst it down. The Kingslayers have done it again, despite all odds.
The Geeks lead this series 1-0 against the Kings of Kings themselves. What a game. You can see the look of relief on Beloyski's face. I mean, that wasn't an easy game for them either. They were on the back foot from the beginning, and they were able to find their rhythm towards the end, waiting, being patient, waiting for Chidera's power spike. And then ultimately they were able to work with it.